It's the voice of the cave, the lion, like, DJ Khaled, another one. Okay. Can we start?
I suppose.
Okay. Oh, you're done with your water.
Begin. Action.
Fuck. Welcome to Movie Pain or Pleasure Podcast, the show that wishes it had 2 hours of its life back after watching the movie we're about to discuss. I'm Melanie Gibson, I'm your co-host, and for this episode, I'm drinking a plain glass of water because it's bland and predictable, just like this movie. Hi, AJ Wall.
What's up?
What are we talking about?
Aladdin, where a man from the Middle East wears clothing from Hot Topic.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So we're not talking about the 1992 Disney animated blockbuster hit. Classic Aladdin. We're talking about the remake from 2019, directed by Guy Ritchie, of all people. That is a very weird choice. I mean, it's not like he can't direct outside of his wheelhouse, but whatever.
From like Lock, Stock, and Smoking Barrel to this.
To Aladdin. And this is when Disney was really getting on that money hungry. We're going to make live action remakes of everything. And they did their shitty CGI Lion King, and they did Beauty and the Beast, which I avoided for years because I thought it looked like something a bunch of basic bitches would watch. Which
I actually prefer that one.
I actually like that one. It's actually pretty good. Lady and the Tramp was atrocious.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That was an abomination.
Dumbo is so bad, it makes me angry. Cinderella is also...
Dumbo might be the worst.
Dumbo's the worst. Cinderella, which we wanted to cover, but Disney took it off Disney Plus. That one was so bad. And so Aladdin kind of falls in the middle of the remakes that we hate. We like Beauty and the Beast. We hate all the other ones. Dumbo's the very worst.
Is Beauty and the Beast the only one we liked?
Yes.
Are we sure? No, Maleficent.
Oh yeah, well, but that wasn't
It's
really
sort
a
of
remake.
In between prequel.
It's an in-betweenquel.
It's a reimagining.
I'm not counting that. I'm counting the remakes of the existing movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mulan sucked too.
Yeah, Mulan was so boring we couldn't finish it.
Anyway.
So, have some of my bland Aladdin water. So it was directed by Guy Ritchie. One review, they got 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. Somebody said it was thrilling, and I'm like, is it though? You're just trying to make up for paying $11.50 for that
trash.
ticket. Yeah, it's just boring. So,
boring.
A couple of names in this. Will Smith is the Genie, and he was actually really enjoyable.
The best part.
He was the best part of the movie, and I almost got kind of lured into liking it. Like, oh yeah, it's kind of fun, kind of dancing along to the Prince Ali song, and I'm like, oh wait, fuck this movie, it's terrible. I'll probably mispronounce his name, but I want to give credit. Mina Masood is Aladdin, and he gives me like reluctant theater kid vibes because he looks the part, but he's kind of bland, and he just makes me think of, this is 4 years of high school theater coming out. He was probably like that kid that was on the tennis team, and he took theater production class just to have something to do to fuck off after lunch. And the theater teacher took a liking to him, was like, hey, why don't you try out for the one-act play that's coming up? You might get to go to the state competition. The kid's like, oh, okay, I guess so. And so I feel like that's how he got the role of Aladdin.
Not as good as the Vin Diesel backstory.
No. And meanwhile, we have Naomi Scott as Jasmine, who is very much like the Lea Michele character in Glee, where she is full-on theater girl. She has, she's beautiful. She has a really good singing voice, and she just blasts it, and so she's really into it.
She takes every scene. Where she can sing and just like...
push Aladdin off that carpet.
Just...
Ah! Yeah, and then Marwan Kenzari is Jafar.
Super boring.
Super boring.
Oh, God.
So, you want to get into this?
Ugh.
We'll get into this so you don't have to. I feel bad for people that paid money to see it, like they took their kids to it and stuff. Just show them the original. Yes?
Follow and subscribe and stuff, because we're close to 7,000 views, but only 25 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, we need more subscribers.
And not enough followers here on Twitch, so do the things and press the things and follow us. Sometimes we're hilarious.
Most of the time we're hilarious.
Wow.
Join our cult, be my victim.
Okay, now we can officially start explaining this
this atrocity,
trash.
this crime against humanity. So we begin on the ocean in a ship. And who is on the ship but Will Smith? And you think, oh, but he was the genie. Well, we'll find out later. So he starts off by telling two children a story. And
we assume they're his. He might have stolen them. But
yeah, maybe he becomes a pirate and kidnaps these kids. Either way, they're kind of down for it. They're down for a story. So he starts telling a story, and he starts singing the Arabian Nights song. And it's okay. Like
talking.
Will Smith can carry a tune. Like, if he had to sing in church or something, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So he sings Arabian Nights, because I think that's what Robin Williams did in the original one.
That's for a lot of these scenes, because Robin Williams did it. When he's being Will Smith Genie, he's really fun.
He's fun
cool.
as Will Smith.
But
so he's singing this song, and they rush through the beginning.
Entire
it's
opening.
a 2-fucking-hour movie, but it still feels so rushed in so many places.
And, boring. It's weird.
It's rushed and boring at the same time. So we see the street market where Aladdin's running around with his monkey. We see the palace with Princess Jasmine and her tiger and her dad. I think Jafar's in there somewhere.
And then we get to the desert.
Yes.
And we hear Jafar speaking to the cave of lion dicks.
It's the Cave of Wonders. Lion dicks, ew.
Whatever, it's a giant lion, so...
Its dick must be huge.
Wait, no, or is it a tiger?
It's
Whatever.
a lion.
It's a
It should be a tiger.
Why is it a lion?
It should be a tiger.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, and by the way, this takes place on Tatooine.
Yeah, this is the Star I think Jafar is involved after the end of the movie.
It's all owned by Disney, so it makes sense. But it looks like Tatooine with a little bit of water.
There
right
are
in the
several
middle of
countries mentioned that definitely don't exist in our world, so very good possibility somebody made a bad wish, or a good one, and created the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, okay. Agrabah, Ababwa, Alderaan.
Scotland?
You just throw Alderaan in there.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
So yeah, the first thing they screw up is it kind of implies what they do with all of the live-action Disney movies, which is they don't really have the opening scene with Jafar being his queenly self, sending a man to die, basically, and showing us the Cave of Wonders. Like, you hear a line as it's going over the top of the head of the Cave of Wonders.
Send me the diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and that's the setup. And like, but so you're just supposed to have seen the original, and that way you know what's going on.
Yeah, so it's lazy. It assumes, which is just more money grubbing from Disney, is assuming that...
Thanks, Disney.
Well, yeah, you've
and there's
seen
supposed to be 2 more of these.
Yes! Fuck, I thought the pandemic would squash this, but no. Maybe I need to make a wish on a lamp and stop this crime against humanity. So anyway, we have dull Aladdin, theater kid Aladdin, kind of running through the streets, and...
Just similar to the original.
I mean, it pretty much follows the original one, so then...
Except we very quickly get the idea that everyone knows exactly who Aladdin is, and that he's a thief. Like, everybody in town oh, there he is. Like, which I feel like means he's not a good thief.
No, if everybody knows who you are, then you're not a good criminal.
So, we get, he steals some stuff, he feeds some kids, and then we get to Princess Jasmine and her, very similar to the original, but I don't know, she feels dumber in this, like the way she just doesn't. Maybe it's because she's so boastful about wanting to be politically involved, and I've read everything, I've read all these books, all these maps, but she doesn't understand how money works. So we're just gonna play a little bit of the movie here. Oh, and I noticed specifically different parts of this film. When you see the town from above, the town of Agrabah, it looks very much like a video game city. Like, very Assassin's Creed for all the millennials out there. Fresh fish. Perfect. And... yeah, of course they're hungry.
So
Just take that shit. This man's a shop owner. He's a businessman. And this is where I wish I could recast this guy with Pam.
explain who that is.
Surf Shop Pam from Dirty Grandpa, who sells drugs.
He's. I don't remember his name, but
I wish I could remember the actor's name. He's really, really funny.
I'll look it up when you're talking about something.
If he was winking at people in the crowd in the back and he was telling them, "Oh, it's 5 pennies for some bananas."
Yeah, I've got some bread if you want, and then he's got meth.
I mean, later in the movie, there's this shop, and Melanie had to correct me, because I see these 2 giant mounds of yellow dust and brown dust, and I was like, is that fucking heroin?
It was,
and she was just like, I'm pretty sure that's turmeric.
It was spices. So they've got.
They were like giant mounds, like in Tropic Thunder, like just huge tracts of mounds.
Huge tracts of land.
Filled with heroin
Yeah,
dust.
so Jasmine just doesn't understand how money works and how markets work, but apparently she's gone slumming before. I don't think
super political savvy, and this isn't the first time she's. According to her, she's like, Dad, let me tell you how to run the country.
So this isn't the first time she's gone out among the people. Like, bitch, don't you know how the marketplace works? Don't you know that you can't just, like, oh, you're hungry? Here, let me grab these fish over here. Let me grab some of these dates and just hand it to you. You have to buy that, you idiot.
Yeah, I just feel bad for this guy. Because, of course, he's, like, supposed to be the dick business owner, but he's trying to run a business.
And then Aladdin shows up in his Hot Topic hoodie.
Yeah, let's, there we go. Look how modern his clothes are.
And clean.
It's weird. Look.
Wait, can the camera see you? Are we on screen right now?
This is why I wore this.
Okay.
And then, of course, he takes some of her jewelry to fake pay it off. But, it looks like my hoodie, which I didn't buy it for that reason. I've had this because sometimes I buy clothes that look like a douchebag wears them.
I kind of have sparkly stuff on, in honor of Aladdin and Jasmine. So, yeah, everything looks very clean. It looks like a stage production or something. It doesn't... They put some dirt on those kids' faces, but Aladdin looks perfect. He's clean shaven. His hair looks like it's been washed.
He has no accent.
Yes, and this has always been my pet peeve with Disney movies. The animated movies do this too. The main characters always have a standard American accent, and everyone else around them sounds like a very stereotyped thick accent version of that culture. Like Pinocchio. Pinocchio sounds like us, like Americans. Geppetto sounds Italian. Stromboli.
That's the
that's the biggest Italian stereotype. But even Geppetto sounds Italian. And then you go to there's Lion King.
Beauty and the Beast. Like, there's Cogsworth and Cogsworth sounds British, but what's his name?
Lumiere sounds French.
Yeah, Lumiere. Being all French and whatnot.
Yeah, and
Stupid French.
Belle and her dad sound American. Everybody else sounds French. Gaston doesn't. So,
yeah,
Disney movies always do this. The main characters sound American and everybody else
Would it be
has
weird for them to ask them to have the accent, though?
Either everybody should have an accent or
nobody.
Nobody, but that's not fair because that's assuming that we don't have... This is an American accent. So you sound like Americans. If it's an English-speaking movie, sound like Americans or Canadians, or you sound British, Australian, whatever. I'm digging myself into a deeper and deeper hole here. I'm trying not to.
If we just kept hearing a boot.
Yeah.
I'm a boot to go to the cave of wonders.
They should all sound like Canadians once.
Well, we know this movie isn't happening on Sunday because that's for picking stones.
Okay, now we're getting into Letterkenny.
Anyway.
Okay, so Jasmine doesn't know how marketplaces work, and Aladdin rescues her, pretty much like in the original one, and they go on a chase. He does parkour.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that.
That's kind of cool.
We'll give this movie points where it deserves it. The parkour stuff is interesting, and I mean, obviously, but Aladdin did parkour in the original animated whatever, but
also
it's also very boring. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm entertained and then bored. Hold on.
Also, I was gonna say kind of fuck Aladdin, because at the end of this sequence, he throws some shit through somebody's roof to throw off the guards.
Yeah,
and so he just bursts a hole in somebody's like place of business or their home, and he jumps somewhere else.
Like,
so
we
he throws
stopped
them
and
off the
bitched
track.
about that for I don't know how long.
Fuck you, Aladdin. That's somebody's house.
Okay, I got that muted, but this is him running through the city singing his
Street Rat song.
Street Rat, which I really like that song. But yeah, I like this idea, but it switches between buffering.
That part was cool.
Him
too.
doing all the cool stuff, jumping on, and then this where he's kind of just running straight towards the camera or walking straight towards the camera, and then or that slow motion that.
I think that's the computer.
Yeah. Well, no, the slow-mo was actually how it was shot.
Oh, okay. That looks weird.
Yeah, let's just stop right on his crotch. Anyway, and yeah, that's just the way it's filmed. With all this slow-mo. Anyway, but I had to give an example.
Okay.
Oh, God. And then, okay, so he brings her back to his abode. Mm-hmm. And we get to see... She goes out onto his balcony. He's like, oh my God, it looks so pretty. He's like, if you like that, look at it from up there. 5 feet higher. And then she goes up there and it looks the same.
It looks the same.
It looks like Assassin's Creed. It's cool. But...
So it just doesn't have that oomph that the opening sequence of the animated one does. Same song, same story. It just doesn't have the energy.
And he has no... Okay, it's not that he doesn't have a voice. It's just that his voice is very flat. And at one point, I stopped the movie to yell at it. Because, like, he'll do these weird things. He sang one song like William Shatner. He'd start to sing. And he kept doing this shit. It would be... or he would sing the song just fine, but the last line of every piece he drops it like he's trying to speak. Mm-hmm. Like he's not really gonna get into the song, but he's gonna give you the song.
Yeah, like I said, he looks the part, but he
can't carry a song that well. He
dull,
sings better than me, but he's not. And it's especially bad during the big love song.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, changing scenes, Jafar enters the palace.
From stage right, Jafar enters. This is our like official reveal technically, because they showed him earlier, but it wasn't like
it was just
like we
rush.
said, they just rushed over the top of his head, and he doesn't have an impact like the real Jafar. And halfway through the movie, I didn't even realize Iago was, like, fully capable of speech.
Bring me the rough, but never a diamond. Take them away.
Oh. He's so mildly disappointed.
Perhaps this diamond in the rough does not exist.
He is out there.
But we've searched for months. I do not understand what could possibly be in that cave that could help a man as great as you. You are already second only to the Sultan. Second?
I do like Iago talking shit. I just wish he didn't sound like a parent.
Pause.
And you think second is
So, during this time, we complained about Iago, because I really liked Iago from the second one, who was voiced by Gilbert Gottfried, and he was a dick, and it was awesome. And halfway through, I'm like, he sounds like a parrot. He sounds like a real bird, and it's boring. And we were thinking, you know who would be perfect to do... The guy who does the voices of all the birds. Shame on you, Disney, for not getting the guy. And then, like, 3/4 through the movie, AJ does a Google search.
And it's Alan Tudyk, which is exactly who we wanted.
It's the guy. Yeah.
It's the guy.
Hey the Chicken. Ludo from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. It's the guy who does all the bird voices.
I need your scepter.
Give me the wand!
Fuck!
Yeah, that's a lot more entertaining than Iago here. So he's just doing the job he was given.
He literally was told, I guess, to sound exactly like a parrot, which isn't as fun. Like, parrot sounding, I guess, is fine. That's why they picked Gilbert Gottfried, because his voice is so aggressive.
He was the Aflac duck.
Yeah, but not like literally be a parrot. That's not very entertaining. Like half the time I didn't realize that, like he says things that are funny, but I didn't know he was actively having conversations.
Yeah, and it's so low that you have to...
It's so hard to hear what he's saying half the time. Like, that was kind of funny where you're like, you're in trouble, bitch. Like, I wish he would just talk shit.
Yeah, so Iago is boring in this, and Jafar is boring too. Now, does he have to be a carbon copy of our wonderful, queer-coded, original, fabulous monster demon of a villain, Jafar from the original one, who didn't even get a villain song? Disney.
He sort of got, like, a reprieve of Prince Ali.
Kind of at the
And
end.
he's being a dick and he sings it at him, but it's not a very long
That's
song.
my one complaint about the 1992 one is
Yeah,
Jafar...
that guy could sing.
Jafar didn't get a villain song.
He should've got a
and
full
he
villain
doesn't get
song.
one. Jafar doesn't sing in this, but nobody cares because he's boring. He's just mildly...
He just talks with his mouth
He's
closed
just
like this.
grumpy. Like, he has a mild headache and he's just like, it's been a long day. He's just whiny.
You know how many people I had to flog today? How many hands were sitting on my desk?
Okay, Sultan, I'm gonna stick a snake in your face. Okay, so that's Jafar.
He's gonna stick his snake in Sultan's face.
Yeah, that's what she said. So, yes, he charms him with his snake. So, yeah, Jafar is very underwhelming. He's boring. And so, yes, Princess Jasmine has to get back to the palace because they are lining up suitors for her because she has to be married, because that's all princesses do. They get married and they have babies. And can you show the suitor that they decide to bring in?
Lord.
Which is hilarious and confusing at the same time.
I mean, maybe we're just ill-educated, you know?
It's funny.
Very possible.
Like, it's funny, but they kind of drag the joke on for too long.
This guy,
This white guy!
just right on that perfect face. That expression is exactly how he looks the entire movie and sounds. In fact, I don't know if he ever officially, like, left.
No, he's just there the whole time.
He
shows
probably
up
gets
at the
to stay for their wedding.
Yeah. Okay, can you play and show what he sounds like?
Oh, God.
Wouldn't he be like, oh shit, is that a tiger?
Oh, yeah, he addresses the tiger. He doesn't know what tigers are.
Sanders, my daughter, Princess Jasmine.
So, why did no one tell me of your beauty?
No one mentioned yours either.
Thank you. They say that in Scotland. Yeah, right?
I guess which is Scandinavia?
Pause. He makes me... Like, good for them for having, like, a schlocky white stereotype, because he kind of sounds like the Three Little Pigs in Shrek. Like, he hopped and he popped and he blew a house down. He's not German. He's like a Germanic person, Scandinavian person.
He sounds like this dorky-ass version of... We were just watching Game of Thrones earlier, and Joffrey's trying to spit game in front of everybody, and he's like... All of the tales of your beauty and your grace, they were not equal to you. And that's what this guy sounded like.
And he's just there, and he's goofy, and he Raja tries to bite him, or he does.
He seems like a big sweet dummy. Like,
he's just a hot dummy with lots of money. His parents have probably tried and tried to get him married off.
oh, God.
And they're just going to do that. But honestly, okay, if this is all about marrying for political gain and stuff, I feel like Scotland, wherever that is probably pretty far from Agrabah. So what would be the point of a political union?
I mean, maybe he's got to go out of town now, because people in his town know who he is. Like, he has some... Even though he's a prince, he has, like, this thing he did that everyone knows about. Like, maybe it involved an ostrich.
Allegedly.
And now he has to go out of town to find available females.
And he has to go all the way to Tatooine, to Agrabah, to find Princess Jasmine. And she's just pissed off. She doesn't want to do this. She wants to be... she wants to succeed her father and be the Sultan. So they're trying to give her more to do, I think, than the original. Because in the original, she was just there.
But they keep all of her naivete. Like, all of it.
Yeah, she's probably... if you go back to the original animated ones, she's probably has the least personality of all the princess. She's just there to be pretty
and
desired, and that's it.
But she's hot, so she's animated, but she's hot.
At
so
least
it doesn't matter.
they're trying to give this Jasmine more to do, and to give her some character.
I mean, I like that she's in a pissing contest with Jafar from the very beginning.
Oh yeah, because she sees Jafar as full of shit. She knows he's manipulating her father, and she wants to be Sultan. She doesn't want to just get married off to somebody and have little royal babies. She wants to succeed her father in the throne, and her dad's like, "But you're a girl, you can't do that."
Yeah, but anyway, poor dumb Scotland man. I don't even know. Did we ever learn this man's name?
Billy Magnuson or something like that. He's an American actor.
No. I mean the
this guy?
character.
I
was about to say, you better not tell me this guy's name is Billy Madison.
Not Madison.
Well,
Magnuson. Prince Anders.
Prince Anders. Well, he's Billy Madison now.
Okay. We're not going to get anybody's names right. So Aladdin still kind of thinks that Jasmine pretended to be a handmaid to the princess. So she's trying to pretend to be someone she's not too.
Which he figured out that she was at least super close to the princess based on just her bracelet. So he seems like he's supposed to be a pretty smart guy, and then later they're immediately giving the game away and he still doesn't notice, which bothers me because it's stupid in the way that all animated movies are. Like, oh, she'll flub her thing, like her handmaid will pretend to be her and she'll say something stupid, but no one will notice. She's eccentric.
Yeah, and she gets a song about not wanting to stay silent just because this chick is a really good singer. So
yeah, I'm fine with them giving her, because Jasmine doesn't get a song in the original.
No, she doesn't get a princess song.
Even though she's, a main-ish character, she doesn't get the I Want song, even though she has wants just
I
as
want
much
in
as...
front of a body of water.
Yeah, she had the little oasis where she hangs out with her pet tiger.
She can't sing to her reflection?
She could have sang into that. But did she? No. But I don't particularly care for the song that they gave her. It's fine. But I don't think that Avenue Q guy was involved, and they should have gotten him. Moana?
Yeah.
That guy?
His name escapes me right now. Sorry.
The man who writes the songs.
Yeah.
The songs that all of us sing.
Yes. So, anyway, Barry Manilow?
What?
So,
Barry Manilow.
Aladdin sneaks into the palace, and he figures out that she's Princess Jasmine, and her handmaid is played by Nasim Pedrad, who was from Saturday Night Live, and she super comes across as like, I am a theater actress, but it's kind of it's done in a sort of a funny way, like she's awkward, and sometimes those jokes don't land, and sometimes
Super
they do.
awkward.
Like at one point she looks at Princess Jasmine, she's just like, why are you being weird? And it's funny. But and then Jafar's henchmen capture Aladdin, and that's where he makes a deal with him.
I don't know why I put this timestamp in. I just wrote Alan Tudyk and Peter Lorre. Peter Lorre is my second pick to play Iago, even though he's dead.
I don't know about that. He would be a very different Iago.
But he plays... he played in a movie called The Raven, which...
That's right.
Yeah, and he plays a raven.
It's like the Edgar Allan Poe Raven, but it's Peter Lorre.
And he's an asshole, and it's terrific. He sounds kind of weird and exotic, but you don't know why.
Master, here's the diamond in the rough. Give me a cigarette.
Remember your place, Jafar.
Remember your place! It's right here!
One more time.
Sorry, Master.
There, I think that was the first moment I realized.
Small,
Oh, it is Alan Tudyk.
he sees a city where I see an empire.
Such vision.
Love sits in my hand, and I shall sit on his throne.
Thief in the palace!
Thief in the palace.
Yep, okay, so that's how he discovers him. So, it's so weird. Like, Abu and him are sentient, but I don't know why. It almost seems like an accident when Iago does these
But
things.
Iago really drives a lot of the story because he can fly around and spy on things, so I don't think they give Iago enough credit, but he's so boring. So, Thief in the Palace.
And then, like Melanie said, they go and capture him, and then we get what I actually think is a really good idea. They didn't expand on it the way they should have, even though the movie's super long. Jafar meets Aladdin face to face, just as he is, not a trick. It is a trick, but he's not like disguised as an old man. And we find out that Jafar maybe had a similar life to Aladdin. Alright, movie. You're waxing poetic with your camels. Just chilling with him.
In a world of trouble, boy.
That bracelet, is that what this is about? Because I didn't steal it. The handmaid.
What was a handmaid doing wearing the queen's bracelet?
The queen? No, she said that it belonged to her.
Mother.
I feel like Aladdin should have been able to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
But
Are you saying that was the princess? I was talking to the...
She was toying with you. It amuses her to meet commoners.
this part about Jafar, I enjoy. This is the one scene.
Mm-hmm.
What did they call you?
Aladdin.
Aladdin.
No, Aladdin, your street name.
Like
What do
us,
they call you?
listen.
Us.
You see, I was once like you,
They call me Ollie D.
a common thief. Only I thought bigger.
It's a
Steal
weird
an
way
apple,
to...
you're a thief. Steal a kingdom, you're a statesman. Only weak men stop there. Either the most powerful man in the room or you're nothing. You
Now, here...
stumbled upon an opportunity.
That's a great idea for... They could have made a Maleficent-style prequel about Jafar.
Mm-hmm.
And his rise. Like, maybe give him a sad backstory where he's sort of on the edge all the way until he becomes himself, who he is now.
Yeah, so he said he was a thief, and in some other little part of his whiny little muttery exposition, he said something about spending 5 years in prison. Okay, so how did he go? That's more interesting. So this is where he basically says, you either do this for me or I'm going to kill you. Where he goes into the cave.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's boring.
It's boring.
It's so boring.
We've watched this movie twice. It's 4 hours of my
It
life
wasn't
gone.
as bad the second time, which we say a lot, but maybe... I don't know. Like, I don't know what expectations we have, because we hate all of these movies. So it's not like we have high expectations.
I expected to hate Beauty and the Beast, and I ended up liking it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like... That one's the only guilty pleasure out of the whole
Yeah,
lot.
these are all hate watches.
They're all
so
hate
it pretty
watches.
much follows the animated movie where he goes into the Cave of Wonders. He's supposed to get the lamp. Aladdin still doesn't know why. And then he reaches for the lamp and all hell breaks
Which
loose.
doesn't make sense. So, Abu grabs the gem, just like the other one, except it kind of rolls to him, which, whatever. But he had already been jumping all over the treasure.
Yeah, he was like,
Everything.
if you touch anything else, you will meet your doom. But
he's
he
just-
steps on all these gold coins to get up to the lamp.
Hop, hop, hop. And then he actually picks up the fucking... The gemstone that's the size of his ass. And then all of a sudden they decide, like, oh, well, that one counted.
Yeah. And we meet the flying carpet, which I liked the flying carpet. And so he gets trapped in the cave and kind of just like looks at this
And
dusty
then-
old lamp and is like, what is this for? Rubs it and out pops
Yeah.
Will Smith.
No way out of here.
And we get the best part of the film here.
At 40 minutes, and then it's all downhill.
I mean, it kind of waves, with any piece that has Will Smith in it. It's awesome, but everything else is crap.
Oh, great one who summons me, terrible one who commands me. I stand by my oath, loyalty to wishes.
What if the guy that rubbed it was offended by all of that? You just call me terrible? I was gonna end world hunger.
Excuse me, boy, where's your boss? Help me out here, where's your boss? If I was gonna talk to myself, I could have just stayed in the lane. Hello? Use your big boy voice.
Whenever he's allowed to be him, it's great.
Smoking blue giant?
No!
Okay.
But what he doesn't get is his own version of the song.
No, and I kind of wanted Aladdin to just go, is that Will Smith?
He just starts humming the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Or getting jiggy with it. Na, 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 na.
God.
I was in college when that song came out and I still like it. So, yeah, Will Smith does the Genie song, You Never Had a Friend Like Me, which is good. I mean, I like Will Smith's version of the Genie. He doesn't try to be Robin Williams, which is good. I like when people they redo a role and they don't try to...
He doesn't try to, but, like, with the actual song, they try to make him do it. Like...
Why couldn't we get a Will Smith song?
Yeah, we get it at the end.
With the end credits.
Like, why did you go to the trouble of getting DJ Khaled? Which would be really funny.
It would be so funny if you hear another one in the cave.
Way back in the cave, you... DJ Khaled!
It's the voice of the cave, the lion, like, DJ Khaled, another one.
That's... The fucking cave could have been voiced by DJ Khaled.
Yes!
The whole time.
The whole time. Disney.
Like, bring me another one.
I don't even know what DJ Khaled does. I just know I know him from the memes. So, anyway, we don't get a Will Smith song. We get the same old song, which is fine. It's fine. The visuals are good.
It does look fun.
It looks fun.
Like, they're... I don't know what that dance thing is where they drop and do the splits on the bass.
The Nicholas Brothers.
Yeah, that. That's cool. Like, that looked good and it sounded right and everything, but it's just... I don't know.
Yeah, and so... Aladdin...
So, we sort of get the same thing. He tricks him into getting them out of the cave, but his thing is...
So he doesn't use a wish.
So, in this movie, they decided, like, okay, Aladdin has to be touching the lamp when he says I wish. So that's the thing. Like, he's got to rub it and say I wish. And he puts it behind him and he doesn't rub it. He gives it to Abu. That way, Genie's already, like, hyped himself up, so he's just gonna do his thing. So that's how he tricks him in this. And then Genie literally, like, we're doing a replay, and he actually plays it back, which is kind of funny.
So they're hanging out in the desert, and sometimes he turns himself into a regular human-looking Will Smith, which is fine. I like Will Smith a lot. I think he's funny.
And he explains the rules a little bit, and he, like, he appears out of nowhere, a man.
Oh, yeah, he's just, make your prince, and this guy just pops up like, hey, what? And then
You'll see my...
A very famous sound showed up in this. Remember this?
Is this where it happened?
Yes.
Are we sure?
Yes, because I wrote it down.
So yeah, we get this dude that's... he makes a prince appear. This dude's like, hey! Where's my city?
Yeah, so there were
Where's my palace?
There are a lot of visual gags.
And we have a thought that this guy is probably, like, literally just abducted, and then it would be funny if at the end of the movie they came back and he was still there.
Yeah. Can I go home now?
Is this where it is?
Desert, ivory, beige, bone, Albion.
It's a little heavy.
Not hearing it. So we get he's giving him the makeover, but there's a particular sound you don't expect to hear.
The ghetto chic is not gonna work. I'm feeling
I hate his body.
What's Perry when
The weird body they gave him. There it is. I hope everyone could
Did y'all hear that?
There is a Wilhelm, which further explains that this is a Star Wars movie.
When he throws the scissors and stuff away, you hear, ah! So there's a Wilhelm scream.
Just, it has nothing to do with the movie that we needed to talk about. We heard a Wilhelm and we were like, is that fucking Wilhelm? That's a fucking Wilhelm.
Yeah. So the Prince Ali song happens, the big entrance, and this is fun. I liked this part of the movie, and this is where I get lulled into thinking, like, oh, this movie isn't so bad. It's because Will Smith is in this part.
Although we won't show any of it, because I don't want to get copyright striked.
No, this
Don't copyright strike us. This is fair use.
Disney will take my house. Yeah, I don't want them to do that. So he shows up as Prince Ali, and Jasmine's just, like, straight from the beginning, like, you're full of shit. And he's awkward, and it's funny, but it also takes too long. They just take so long with all the jokes.
Yeah, like,
we're only 52 minutes into a 2-hour movie.
Probably the best scene, honestly, as far as, like, the most entertaining. Because Will Smith is just being like, whispering to him, "Stop talking about that.
Stop
doing
talking about the
this."
jams.
Yes, jams. We have jams. All the jams.
Yeah, okay, and we keep saying things like this are funny. It is funny, but it is an infuriating 2
Because
hours.
you gotta slog through all this.
Yes.
Look how far in I'm putting
Don't watch this movie. So Jasmine thinks he's full of shit. Okay, and this is where some things drag and some things rush.
Oh, but wait. Before that, this one scene is what kind of shows what we could have got, which I think would have made this movie a lot better. If I can get it to start.
Oh, the dancing.
Yes,
Okay.
the dance.
Yeah, so the genie is trying to help Prince Ali, Aladdin, get some game, and so he makes him dance, and it's cool.
Which I think that works. Him like messing with him and like playing him like a puppet.
Yeah, I like that. Damn it, I like parts of this movie.
But yeah, and he's in his. He looks like he's a Power Ranger from the '90s movie, but God, their clothes look cool.
Yeah, they do look cool. Tell me what you were saying last night when we were watching it.
I don't remember other than the Power Ranger. Oh, it looks like he's in a if Taekwondo or karate had been created in Persia or in the Middle East, that's what the dobok would look like. The gi. That's what they would be wearing. And it looks really cool.
No.
So anyway, this is a fun scene. This is a fun dance.
Yeah.
And this whole thing could have been a Bollywood movie.
It could have been a Bollywood. They're different cultures.
But it's a lot closer to that culture than it is to
Scotland.
Normal Hollywood, bullshit.
Yeah, so if let's say you transplant this to India and it's a Maharaja or something instead, and you make it a Bollywood movie. And I've seen Bollywood movies are fun. They're 3 hours long, but they have intermissions.
I mean, this is a long-ass movie, so that's perfect.
long-ass-
It's like 2 hours and, well, the last 15 minutes, I think, is all credits, so it's like 2 hours, but still, it's a long movie for Disney.
That's what I like about Bollywood movies is they have intermission. So you can go get a snack and go to the bathroom and all this stuff, because they know you're in it for the long haul.
Like, all the music they could have done.
All the dancing.
The dancing.
You missed your chance, Disney.
It'd be perfect for a live-action version of a Disney movie that's full of over-the-top dancing and singing.
Make it a Bollywood movie. Yeah, they do it at the very end.
The very
with the
end
wedding.
just flat out is a Bollywood dance scene. This is sort of there, but not quite 100%, and then we get it at the end for no reason.
Mm-hmm. And Jasmine gets mad at him for some reason, so he's awkward. He's trying to impress her. She thinks he's just another rich guy who's trying to buy her, basically, and she wants to be the
says
sultan.
that.
She's like, "Am I for sale?"
Yeah.
And so,
I mean,
no.
No.
So Ali comes up and he tries to apologize and he talks to her and he shows her the magic carpet, and we have the famous whole new world
where she
scene.
just belts out every chance she gets. It's this huge voice. Every time they sing together, you can't even hear him.
It looks like she's gonna push him off
Like,
the carpet.
she's just gonna... Yeah, I'm the leader of this movie now.
Yeah. I won't be speechless. I won't stay silent. Like, we get it. You can sing. But the ride itself looks kind of boring. I feel like I had more fun watching Harry when he was on Buckbeak the Hippogriff and just flying over the lake at Hogwarts than any of this stuff. It's dark. You can't really see. It's boring.
It looks cold.
It does look cold.
It looks so cold. I feel like I would be sitting... My ass would be on the very last thread at the back, and like I would be holding the front of it up.
I would have half the carpet wrapped around me
That's
if I were flying
that's
on
the way
carpet.
I would want it. I would want carpet to like carpet wrap me up, go, and then fly like that.
Just fly around like a burrito.
Yeah,
in the
like
sky.
like an Italian's ex-family member. You-
Okay, so yeah,
That was
and it's we're going where I can't talk. So Prince Ali is afraid of being found out, and that's kind of the underlying message of it's really best to just to be who you are, and that's what the genie is trying to get him to do, but he doesn't. But Jasmine's smart, and she kind of starts to figure it out. Jafar figures it out.
Yeah. I don't. How the fuck did Jafar figure it out? Just because Iago was like, he's not a prince. I think. Oh, okay. I think Iago's nearby and he's listening like a dick, which that works.
Well, Like I said,
And
Iago is
she-
really the unsung hero
Yeah,
of this
she
movie. He
figures
does
it
his
out
job.
because she's just like, she says that she sees Abu, and it's like the original. It's not that
Yeah,
special.
she figures
but-
it out, which is fine. And so there's a lot of action at the end. So Jafar captures Aladdin and threatens to kill him if he doesn't give him the lamp. And he tries to kill him anyway. He pushes him off a cliff.
Huh.
What?
I just wrote tried to kill me, and I don't know why. It's after he was thrown out the window.
So he's thrown out the window, and the genie kind of overrides his power and wishes by proxy to save Aladdin.
Yeah, he like writes it down to make sure it technically works as a contract. Another little fun thing the whole movie is the genie keeps trying to tell Aladdin how to act with Jasmine, but he sucks with women. like the handmaid really wants to get with Will Smith Genie, but
when he
he's-
looks like a human.
But yeah, when he's being normal. But he's super awkward anyway.
And it's funny.
And he just seems like it's Will Smith kind of walking around. It's
just Will Smith.
entertaining. Here, apparently, Aladdin is a dick. That's exactly the way I put it in my notes. Because I think they're talking about the final wish and what their plans are.
Yeah, because he had promised the genie
Pulled yourself back together,
to set him free.
Yeah.
I did, didn't I? I think I finally got the hang of being a prince.
Yeah, he's getting
That's
full
not
of himself.
Exactly what I meant.
But you were right. People see what they want to see. Aladdin is gone. I'm Prince Ali now.
Wow. Got it all figured out.
Ali with the
Okay.
dude.
And, you know, I was thinking about my last wish, and I can't do this without you. I know I told you I'd use it to set you free, but you were the Sultan. I can't let everything that we've worked for fall apart.
So, you just never tell her the truth? You're gonna keep living the lie.
It's not a lie. People can change.
Oh, they can change already.
So,
And that's a bad thing. Everything is better now. No one got hurt. You'd rather me be back on the streets stealing to survive?
this man literally, this
thought you'd be happy.
genie literally just saved you, you piece of shit. I know this happens in both stories, but here it bothers me more for some reason.
And it just takes so long to do everything. We're still...
Which-
where is this? 1:30. There's still 30 minutes
Oh,
left in the
God.
movie.
I would-
and it feels
I
like
wonder-
another hour.
I wonder, in the original one, after he's set free, he still has magic powers, and I wonder if that's the same rules here,
Well,
because
it's
like,
not. Because...
Genie totally should, in the original too, Genie totally should have just been like, look bro, set me free, I'll still be able to do some stuff, I'll help you out, I'll just be your buddy, and
Well-
me.
Yeah, in this one, he says early on that he wants to become a human.
Yeah.
So, and you see at
Well-
the end, he tries to do some magic and he can't. So
I don't
he's,
know if he does though, he just tells him that he's not gonna do it for him.
Well,
It's
he
like, do it
kind of...
yourself.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
I think
he
it's
gives that De
different.
Niro face, like, see if it happens.
Okay. So, chaos ensues. There's a long chase on the carpet. Jafar becomes... Oh, he gets his hands
Well-
on the lamp.
After they called him out, which thank you for that. They just flat out, Aladdin shows up and he's like, he tried to murder me.
Yeah, I liked that in the movie because I hate when movies... You have a
why I wrote that.
You have a confrontation, and people always kind of... I had a Czech friend who used to say, "Don't dance around the bowl of hot soup," and people will dance around. They'll beat around the bush. They won't talk about the subject at hand. He's just like, yeah, he's trying to murder me, and he's trying to control you, the Sultan. Well, Jafar gets his hand on the lamp, and first he makes a wish to become Sultan, and this is where Jasmine has her other moment.
Yeah.
He sends her off. And she gets a song about how she will not be silenced and she will not be made speechless.
And the only problem with that is, as we will
the
see...
visuals are weird.
We'll just... obviously, again, no audio, because I don't want copyright striked. So she starts singing. The guards don't react, which...
No, they're just kind of standing there. It's weird.
I feel like they would be like, is she...
Is she singing?
She's singing?
Is that okay? Like, hey, boss, hey, Jafar, can she sing? He's like, yeah, shut up, just get her out of here.
Like, probably say something really douchey, like, it is her last words, let them be whatever she wants.
Yeah, something like that. I will stop her mouth with my kiss. Ew.
So, oh, God. Isn't that... It's from something. So yeah, she's
It's from Shakespeare,
oh,
but in like a hot way.
okay. I think I've heard it in something else. So she's belting out, and wait for it, because it gets very confusing to me.
Yeah.
She's like, well, just let go of
And
me.
there they go!
She disintegrated them with her mind.
She just burst the guards into oblivion. And this happens with all the dudes, which is kind of symbolic. Maybe it's like, fuck all the men in this movie who are trying to put Jasmine in this one little role. And she knows she can be a leader, and she can think for herself. And so she's belting out this song, and all the men just kind of burst into nothingness.
But she doesn't physically do anything, which
No.
I hate. I wish she had physically been doing something. Like, maybe it would be too aggressive, even though they do have people at knife and sword point all the time in this movie. If she had grabbed one of their swords and just held them off away from each other, there's something, like, instead of just like, I'm gonna be strong in my head.
And then how does it end? Did this really happen?
No, so that's where she just like, hey, Joaquin.
Hakeem.
Hakeem.
Not Joaquin.
My bad, Hakeem. And she just gives him some logic.
Hits Hakeem up with that logic.
You were just a boy when your father came to work the grounds. But you have risen up to become our most trusted soldiers.
So his dad's a gardener?
As a man, I know you to be both loyal
Nothing
and
wrong with that.
just.
It's just a bit
But now
odd.
you have to choose.
This man has worked his way up.
Duty isn't always honor.
Actually, in that area, there's probably very little wildlife,
Isn't
so
speaking up against our enemies.
probably gotta be pretty good to be a gardener.
Defying those whose approval we seek
Yeah, it's hard work
most.
growing plants on Tatooine.
Jafar is not worthy of your admiration nor your sacrifice.
So,
I wish nothing but glory for the kingdom of Agra.
so there we go. She's just like flat out. He doesn't deserve it, so why are you giving it to him?
Yeah, so she
And
kind of
that's
talks him
it.
out of it. But wasn't it kind of... You said it was like the end of the 5th Twilight movie?
Yeah, like okay, her song is the end of the 5th Twilight movie, where
You
you
need to
think
explain
all
that.
where you think all these things are happening. Look, she's just annihilating these people with her brain, I guess, and then you see it jump back, and she's just standing there waiting to talk.
Yeah, it's all in her head. It's like in Twilight where they have that huge battle scene, and it's just like, no, this might happen. It might happen.
It could, but will it? No, even though it was the best part of every movie.
Carlisle still has his head on.
Ugh, son of a bitch.
Okay.
So this kind of goes along with Genie's whole I can only sort of make things happen. Some things are real and some things are kind of just a suggestion. And this is the part where they're kind of like, oh yeah, we can just decide he's not our sultan. And then he's like, oh yeah, well I can just wish for more shit.
He becomes a sorcerer. And so
And then we get giant Iago.
there's a lot of throwing back and forth with the lamp. It's one of these things that makes me anxious. There's a chase scene, so Aladdin and Jasmine and Abu, the monkey, get on the carpet, and they're going back and forth with the lamp. So, what's his name? Jafar is the Sultan, or no, he's a sorcerer now, so he just makes Iago into a giant Jurassic Park monster.
Which is kind of terrifying.
It's terrifying. It's scary. And gross looking, because he looks all like he's trying to molt or something.
He's just ready to fucking chow down. Like,
Oh yeah, he's
So-
gonna totally eat them.
Aladdin's already gone to the land of ice and come back, which super fast, by the way.
Oh yeah,
They're-
there was that whole thing.
the which is no different than the original. Maybe it was Scotland.
Maybe it was Scotland.
Maybe.
Prince Anders.
So here we go. He's just like, that's ugh.
Yeah, there's that.
That would be. I'm sorry. That's terrifying. Any giant bird is scary, but a giant parrot,
Pause.
like the ugliest version of a parrot.
I was
like,
scared of the grackles that were by the mailbox today, and they're kind of small. I don't like birds. I think they're scary. They're little dinosaurs, and if they were bigger, they'd eat us.
True.
So that part's kind of cool,
And-
but also it just adds to the peril and the...
And
It
but,
makes this movie
okay,
even longer.
Even though I don't like the Sultan in this, we haven't talked about him at all, but he's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
He runs up and he like slams Jafar in the back, and he drops his scepter staff snake thing, and all of a sudden, Iago turns back to little normal Iago, and they're still fighting over the lamp, and Jafar ends up with it anyway. But that was a cool thing. Like, he actually got involved. He like, meh. He's like, you are nothing without your scepter, and he just goes like, meh. He just Star Wars it. He just pulls it up from the ground. Or Harry
Jafar
Potter.
is giving me like weak Sith Lord vibes in this movie.
Which is, I'm telling you, he twisted somebody's wish because he's a Jinn, not a genie.
Okay, let's talk about that because Aladdin kind of tricks him at the end.
So jinns are evil. Theoretically, like usually in the stories, jinns are evil. And Genie's cool in this, so I guess he's a genie and the other ones are jinns.
Okay, so...
The jinns fuck with your wishes. But yeah, so it's...
Oh, do they always make it like a monkey's paw, kind of?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to be rich and powerful? Well...
Yeah, he'll give it to you at the bottom of the ocean. Which, if you watch the second Aladdin movie, the animated one, then you get all of that. You get to see what the monkey paw version is of wishes like that.
And there's lots of Iago, Gilbert Gottfried.
Lots of it.
He even gets
singing.
a song. He gets
twice.
A song.
Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass pussy.
Okay, so same thing as the original. Aladdin kind of tricks Jafar and says, oh, well, the most powerful being... Don't you want to be that? Even more powerful than a sorcerer? And he's like, yes, I want to be a genie. And then, so Genie turns him, and he kind of sees what's up, Will Smith. So Will Smith turns Jafar into a genie or a jinn, and he becomes big and powerful, and he's like, oh shit, can't do anything, because he's stuck to a lamp.
Fuck you, Iago, come here.
Yeah, he's like, no, parrot, you'll come with me. Same thing as the original. So he goes back into the lamp, the end, and Jasmine and Aladdin get married because and also her father comes around and he's like, you know what, you can totally be the Sultan.
And then she's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna marry who I want.
Yeah, I'm gonna change the
rules.
rules.
You could have done this which I think is it's probably just as egregious in the original. Like, you could have just changed the rule this whole time.
Well, okay.
You didn't need to do that.
I like what they were attempting to do with some woman power and giving Jasmine a lot of character and a desire beyond having a husband.
It's just weird. They never follow up on any of it.
No, and that's the problem, because this movie sucks. It's
the
too
virtue
long.
signaling stuff again. Like, where they're like, oh, see? The girl, she does the thing. Which, yeah, okay, she talked. She talked no jutsu'd Hakim back into being part of them. But she doesn't, like, physically get involved in a way that I wish that they would let her. And she doesn't know about economics, obviously, because she just steals shit and expects people to have been paid or something.
A lot of it is saying, well, I've read all the books, I've done all the things, give
and Jafar
me the job.
kind of has a point, so that's not the same as experience.
Which is kind of like in the job market, where you get your degree and you say, please give me a job, and they're like, nope, you have to have experience.
What if he's like
2 to 3 years experience being a sultan.
You want to be sultan? Okay, well you gotta give me 3 years experience at the bank. I was like, but there's no banks here. We own the bank. Well, that's too bad.
Unpaid internship.
Just circular.
Okay, so we liked certain things about this movie.
And certain things are called Will Smith.
Will Smith, I think there were good intentions. The intention for Disney was to make more money. Yeah. Was to get people like me who were in their 40s to take their kids to see this movie. Or people who were kids at the time to go see it out of nostalgia. Disney, you failed. I'm not going to show my niece this movie unless we want to make fun of it. I'm going to make her watch the original one.
Yeah, there's no point. There's nothing. They never add anything to any of these fucking movies. Like, okay, at least... As bad as Lion King was, and it was terrible, at least I could see someone getting, like, overly fond of the idea of making it the way they did. It was a bad idea, but it seemed so cool that they're like, well, we gotta remake it. Look how good it looks. Look how good we can make the CGI. It looks like sort of real.
Sort of.
Like, at least that's something new. It's terrible, but it's something new. And I could see them lying to themselves enough to get involved in that.
And with Beauty and the Beast, I liked the whole backstory they did with her mother, that she died of the plague.
That's true.
That's the stuff I like.
And they had they stuck close enough with certain things and made it entertaining. It has to be entertaining first. Like, Gaston and LeFou were still entertaining. And most of the side characters in that were entertaining. Then this, no one's entertaining except for Will Smith.
Will Smith was the only good thing about this movie.
There's no good villain. The
No.
villains in Disney movies are supposed to be good. This villain's bad. Lion King villain is bad.
Oh yeah, Scar
Is
sucked.
there any good... Gaston's the only good one in the new ones.
He was okay.
I liked him. He wasn't much of a Gaston.
He looked too old to be Gaston.
Yeah.
The actor was too old to be Gaston.
But he was still, for what he could do, he was still good.
Okay.
Anyway.
This was a hate watch for sure. We went into this
So
wanting to
boring.
hate watch, and it did not disappoint. It's so long, it's so boring, and it's rushed in, like, the pacing is all weird. It's too fast in some places, it's too slow in others, which that can be infuriating as a viewer.
It's like they want to rush over the stuff you've already seen, even though it's the good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about recommendations. I've got two. And my first one would be In the Heights with music by Lin-Manuel Miranda because, one, the music is way better, and then two, it's kind of the same framing where it's a guy telling his kids a story. Because at the end we see Will Smith has become human and he married the handmaid and they have 2 children. So In the Heights, which I think is also on Disney Plus, is it?
Yes.
Yes.
No, not
it's
Disney
not. It's
Plus,
on HBO.
HBO.
So
They all
wonderful.
all meld together.
yeah, that's a great movie. And then also Lawrence of Arabia with Peter O'Toole and Omar Sharif. Classic. It is a slog. It's like 3 hours long. So watch it at home, get some snacks, take your bathroom breaks. It's a beautiful movie. I love it. So, In the Heights and Lawrence of Arabia. What's yours?
I've seen one of those. Oh, and In the Heights, the only problem with that is they should have built up the grandmother's song more.
Yes.
Abuela.
Yes.
Her song was so good. It was the best part of the whole movie. Anyway, my first one is Heartbeats, which was just a random dance movie that was based in India. So we're like, okay, maybe it'll be sort of Bollywood because I've never really seen a Bollywood movie. And I guess it sort of is, but it's not like too Bollywood. It's somewhere in between Bollywood and dance movie.
Yeah, they take influences from
But
Bollywood.
it's actually really good. I think this guy would have been a better Aladdin, the lead in Heartbeats.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a... Was it a white girl?
The white girl, yes, the white girl went for a friend's wedding in India.
Yeah, and they get to see some of the culture, and there's the dancing and the music and everything. It's really fun. Anyway, really like that one. Another good pick for a better choice of Aladdin could have been... I'm not even sure who this guy is. Whoever the lead is in Work It, that had the ACL surgery in his storyline, he would have been a good Aladdin
was
too.
the brother in...
Gina's brother in High School Musical, the musical, the series,
yes,
the show.
Also,
anyway, okay, my other recommendation is Aladdin 3, King of Thieves,
with his silver fox hot dad.
Yeah, voiced by the guy who was Gimli in Lord of the Rings, who I can't remember off the top of my head, but that one's really good. I know a lot of people don't necessarily care for Aladdin 2. Because it was kind of like a setup for the show. That's really the only reason it existed. But the third one's really good. And it looks good. Like, that scene with the hand of Midas.
The golden hand, that was cool.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Okay, I've got one more thing. If you're going to recast Iago as Peter Lorre, I want Sabu from the 1942 Jungle Book as Aladdin.
He would, that would be very interesting.
I don't know if he can sing or not. He would be so much fun. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go watch our show on the Jungle Book movies. We review about 4 or 5 iterations of the Jungle Book, including one that was made in pre-World War II with a really charming young guy from India named Sabu.
That would be a
and
very
I would want him
version.
as Aladdin.
He could do all the parkour shit.
Hell yeah,
we saw him
could.
jumping through windows and whatnot.
He'd probably try to kill Raja though, because he'd probably think he's Shere Khan.
Oh yeah, we
were get a Mowgli Aladdin crossover.
We were wishing they would have just called Raja Shere Khan in this. I know Raja was the name in the original, but it would have just been funny if she called him Shere Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this pile of trash.
So that's Aladdin. Okay, so how to watch us and listen to us for more guilty pleasures. There are some things that we like, or hate watches where we just roast a movie for
We'll
an
have to-
hour or so.
We will have to do a guilty pleasure next because
We will.
We hate watched this. We hate watched Jiu-Jitsu,
Yeah.
which that was a whole thing.
I think you're still traumatized by it. So how to reach us? We're on Twitch, Movie Painter Pleasure Podcast. Our videos are on YouTube, Movie Painter Pleasure Podcast. We have an Instagram, and you can listen to our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes. Lots of ways to join our cult and be my victim.
But don't be the victim of this movie.
Don't be the victim of this movie. Fuck this movie. Bye.
Yeah.